Hey fish nerds of YouTube and random bored people surfing the internet. It's Jake from Raccoon Creek Aquatics here. And today I'd like to cover the several species that I have in this 37-gallon planted tank. Kind of cover the growth rate, how fast they grow, how strong a light they need to survive, and generally just how plants in an aquarium can help the health of the fish and everything, just the general health of the aquarium. We'll also talk about why I take the growth rate into consideration when choosing a plant species to go in a tank. First, we'll start over here on the left. The first plant on the list is native to Southeast Asia, Cryptocorn balansae. I probably butchered the name, but bear with me, these names are hard. It's a background plant. As you can see, it gets pretty big. It can actually get up to 2 foot tall, so it'll eventually be up to the surface of the water up here. The light needs are medium, so if you're going to go with a low lighting tank, this plant probably won't thrive in there. And the growth rate is medium. Next is Crinum calistranum. I know it's kind of hard to see back there, but it's that thin green plant kind of nestled back in there. It's a background plant. The growth rate of this plant is slow and the lighting needs are low as well, making this a perfect low-tech plant. Next, we're going to stroll over to Ludwigia repens. It's this red plant here. You can see down at the bottom it's more green, but as it gets towards a stronger light, it's more of a reddish hue. I really like these plants. These can be found in northern, central, and southern America, and they grow very fast. They only need medium light, and this is one of my favorite plants as well. You can put Ludwigia repens either in the background of the tank, or if you keep it trimmed up, you can keep it in the midground. Next, we're coming back to the left. This carpety looking plant on the wood is Java moss. One thing you'll see about Java moss is it's just like two other types of plants in this tank. It can be mounted to driftwood and grow on driftwood. Next, we'll take a look at Bucephalandra. This is a super slow growing plant. I actually almost tossed it when I first threw it in there because it didn't do anything and actually started to melt and it took forever to adjust, so I almost wrote it off, but it bounced back and it's coming back really nice. Get all kinds of new growth on there. This is becoming one of my favorite plants. Bucephalandra is a low light plant and is a very slow grower, but it's good for a low tech tank. Next, we're heading down to Anubias. This one's growing on top of the wood as well and is actually rooted to the wood. Anubias is from West Africa. It's a very slow growing plant and only requires low light, but can also be grown in high light. I like those little Anubias plants. I also have one more up here mounted to the wood behind the Brazilian pennywort. Now we're going to come down to Monte Carlo. This is a carpeting plant, as you can see. This plant is from South America. Looks like a bunch of little clovers. I'm trying to get the focus here. Not cooperating too well. There we go. I used the dry start method to get these to take hold, along with the S repens and the Ludwigia repens. I'll post a link so you can find my how-to video on how to do the dry start method. Now we're going to head up to this grassy-like plant. It's a close relative to jungle valve. This is Vallisneria nana. It gets about 2 foot tall. You can see it going all the way up to the top of the aquarium. It is a background plant. The growth rate is medium and it only needs low lighting. Next up is the micro chainsword. It's this grassy looking plant right next to the wood. It's really cool to watch because it actually sends off runners. You can see some growing back there, and I don't know if I can get any shots down here. It's actually growing under the wood and coming to the other side of the wood. It's kind of fun to watch. The micro chainsword is a foreground plant. It requires medium lighting and is a medium rated grower. Next we'll go over to the Sterogen repens, or better known as the S repens. This is a foreground plant, requires low lighting, and provides medium growth. Next we'll go up to the Brazilian pennywort. This plant can be found in Central and Southern America. It is a fast grower and only requires low lighting. It's a good plant. Next we'll come down to the dwarf lilies. These only require low lighting but are a medium grower. If you don't clip the leaves, they'll actually reach the surface and create little water lily pads for you, but I like to keep mine as a bush, as close to a bush as I can. Now I'll go to the bacopa, better known as moneywort. This plant should be placed in the background. It is a very fast grower, can grow very tall, and requires medium lighting. Next we're going to go down to Blixa japonica, which is that little grassy bush down there. Blixa japonica is from Asia. Blixa japonica is a medium grower and requires medium lighting. Next we're going to go to this big wall here, Rotella rotundifolia green. This plant is also from Asia. It is a fast grower and only requires medium lighting. Now we're going to bring it down to the front right corner of the aquarium, to the AR Mini, or Alternifera Renecki. This plant provides a nice splash of red to the aquarium. It requires medium lighting and is a medium grower. It also needs CO2 to be grown properly. Now we're going to finish off with the floaters. These floaters are water lettuce and red root floaters, and they are very beneficial. They suck out the extra nitrates and nutrients to help avoid major algae issues. And we actually have them flowering, the red root floaters that is. They're little flowers up there. Now we're going to talk about why I take speed of growth into consideration. If you have a bunch of slow growing plants, such as Bucephalandra or Anubias, but have too high of lighting, the plants aren't going to outcompete the algae for nutrients. So you need those fast growing plants such as the floaters or the bacopa in there. So that's all for today. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. If you like what I'm doing here, push the like button and subscribe to my channel. Have more updates coming. Don't forget about the fish room / man cave that we're working on. More updates are coming soon.